Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out, bro.
Rose. But I asked them a question: what do you love the most? Everybody said something different, but nobody said this particular thing. And it began to make me think, and I'm gonna give you that particular thing in a minute, but it made me think, what is important to you? Like what is on I'm gonna tell you this. I was listening to Darius Daniels. He said this and it hit me at home because a lot of people put money over health, subconsciously, right? But if somebody told you I would give you $10 billion today, but tomorrow morning you would die, or you can be broke now and live tomorrow for 25 more years or 100 more years, which one would you take? Well, I'll take being broke. So what you're saying is health is more important than money. Yes. Okay, great. So in that perspective, when you break it down like that, we understand what's valuable and what's not valuable, right? However, I asked everybody in the room, I said, what do you love the most? Now, some people said God, and of course people were being politically correct. I love God, I love my family, I love my job. People were saying certain things like that. But as I began to go through the room, nobody gave me the answer that I was looking for. And this answer that I'm looking for, it shows me why people will stay in relationships where there's no love. Because of this answer, it shows me why people will stay in relationships that they're getting abused. Or it shows me why people will stay in jobs that they hate and don't pursue their dreams. Because of this answer, it shows me why people remain in circumstances or situations that they don't want to be in because of this answer. This answer, I know y'all sitting on the edge, y'all say, like, tell me the answer, hurry up. The answer that I was looking for when I asked them, I said, what do you love the most? This is the answer I was looking for. Me. I love me. And what's damaging is many of you have been trained that self-love is selfish. It's not true. Because this is the truth. If you don't love you and many of you like, I do love myself, then why you ain't say yourself first? Because many of you thought about the question that I asked that group of leaders. Many of you thought about that question and you first begin to think, oh, I love my wife, my husband, my kids. You begin to list those people. And it's sad because so many people put themselves on the back burner. Why are you putting yourself on? Just because you put yourself first, that doesn't make you selfish, right? Like I want you to love you. And when you, in fact, don't love you, it's impossible for somebody else to love you right. Why? Because there's going to be so many insecurities. When somebody say you're beautiful, you're like, go ahead, you just want something. Or, oh, you're so handsome. Yeah, whatever. So how much money you need? Your insecurities will jump up. Why? Because you don't love you correctly. I can't love you right when I don't love me right. Because I should be the first display of love to myself, and I should show you how to love me correctly. So as we close this AOS notes, I want you to think about that. Really, really take in consideration. Let's really dive deep. Really think about that. Do you really love yourself? Emotionally? Can I handle this? Right? Because you have some guys that are very, 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 very much insensitive and don't care about how you feel when they say certain things. They mean what they say and they say what they mean. If it hurts your feelings, it is what it is. Some women would say, I can't handle that. No, I can't. And it's not, when you say, this is a big one, I really want to help us out. And I'm going to definitely reiterate this for tomorrow's podcast as well. Just because you say I can't handle something, that does not mean you're weak. So, I'm saying this in my vernacular. She couldn't handle him or he couldn't handle her. I don't know what happened in their relationship, but I do know they both made great money. They both were alpha people and it didn't work. They broke up. I don't know how long they broke up because I don't get into people's business like that. I don't care. But I wanted to use this to make a point to my listeners because I need you to understand what kind of person you need to be with. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but they broke up, right? Two alpha people broke up. So you got to understand this. If you're an alpha person and they're an alpha person, two alpha people can coexist, but it becomes difficult because especially when you're not secure in yourself, because a real secure alpha person would understand this. I understand when it's my turn to be alpha, and I understand when it's my turn to be the second fiddle. Period. Like everybody want to be Jordan. Nobody want to be Pippen. Truth of the matter is, Pippen made Jordan who he is, and Jordan made Pippen who he is. The two was a great dynamic team. Period. And I think that most women feel as if, especially the alpha women, feel as if I'm not Jordan, then Pippen doesn't get any value. But you got to realize Pippen got the rings too. But we don't talk about that. Why? Because we always highlight number one. But you don't really understand the pressure that number one is under. And even in relationships, I want to lay this carpet out right now. In relationships, even if you're the man and you're the head, sometimes it's designed for you to play number two. Because you won't have all the great ideas. Sometimes your wife or your woman will lead. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, just because a woman leads you doesn't mean that you're weak. And I cannot stand. My mama said hate is a strong word, but I hate a person that always think a woman can't lead. No, a man got to lead. That's so ancient Egypt. What is it? Caveman thinking, right? Because truth of the matter is, there's some circumstances that a woman can lead much, much better. And I'm not being sexist. I'm not saying, okay, a woman can lead better in the kitchen or a man can lead better in the yard, in the garden. No. That's crazy. No, that's not at all. There's certain aspects of your life that a woman will lead better than a man. Now, it's all relative, right? It depends on the circumstances and the situation. I'm not saying that a woman can lead better in this area in every single area or every relationship. No. I'm talking about in certain circumstances. There's circumstances in my life where a woman leads better than I do, or I lead better than she does. Now, just because the person is leading in this particular sense does not mean that you lose your vision. Catch it. Men, you can have vision, but she's following the vision, but you're leading, but now it's a specific situation where she's in lead of your vision, right? I need y'all to catch that. Only insecure people will find fault in that. That's what people really want to know. Why do people cheat? Now, let me give you a breakdown scenario. It's just a few things, right? This is my opinion. One of the things of the many reasons of why people cheat, because they have no integrity. Let's start with that. Integrity is number one, right? Because with integrity is like I would do what I'm supposed to do or what's right when nobody's looking. That's integrity, right? And I get it. Let's look at this. I'm gonna dive deep. I believe that the reason most people cheat, not because you know the relationship is going sour, I look at when people say the reason I did what I did was because the relationship is not what it used to be. That's a cop-out. That's an excuse. That's an excuse to not deal with the real issue at hand. I get it. I trust me. I'm not hard on people that cheat or people that don't cheat. Neither way, I'm not judgmental. However, the truth of the truth and the facts are the facts. Most people mess around because that is an excuse or a cop-out. I want to get my cake and eat it too. Like that's the main reason, right? I want to still be with my person, but I want to experience some other sexual things with this person because I'm not getting it at home. Versus having the conversation, hey, let's fix this, let's do that. And I believe that things will change if you're with a good person. Right? And if they don't want to change or they don't want to make it better, then leave. That's it. Listen, I think that our contract terms have ended. Now it's time for me to go my way. You go your way, period. Now, I think that a lot of people mess up with cheating. And I've heard horror stories in the last couple of weeks, just talking to people randomly, right? I heard some horror stories. Some people like, listen, I've been faithful to my person and I wanted to mess around. I have opportunities to mess around. And this is too, let me drop this sidebar. That makes you so upset when you had the opportunity to mess around, but you didn't, and you're being faithful to this person. And then you come to find out they're cheating on you. Like that's a hard pill to swallow, but you got to swallow the pill. But, I've heard horror stories where they've been cheated on and they've been faithful to this person. I mean, faithful. And then they cheated and then come back and then they have sex together and then they catch a STD. I've been faithful and now it's crazy, right? Now I get it. Now this is on another side of the spectrum too. This is where I'm at. I'm almost 40 years old. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot, right? But one thing I pride myself in, I've never had an STD all 40 years. I count on one hand on my sexual partners. I count on one hand my sexual partners, which is amazing. When I was in high school, I used to get clowned about that. Like in high school, I didn't talk to nobody, no women, nothing. I used to get clowned about that. Like, you know, when you get no play? Nah, just never. I was clowned about that. But as I grew older and got more mature, I understood that real women value that. They value that, right? But that's neither here nor there. But I believe that when you get to a mature state, like I am, this is the point I'm making. You get to a mature state where you've seen a lot in life, you've done a lot, but you've experienced a lot as well. And the things that you've seen is now holding you back from doing the very things that's so tempting. Now, I got to keep it funky with you. I don't care who you are, whether you're the bishop, a pastor, a preacher, a church person, you don't believe in God, you believe, whatever, you're a stand-up person, it doesn't matter. You can get tempted to the place where you think about doing it. Period. I don't care how good of a woman you are, good of a wife, good of a husband. I don't care. You can get tempted to do the very thing that you don't want to do. That's life, right? However, I know from my stance, I look at it like this. That's why I made that video about the 90-day rule. You're going to wait 90 days to have sex? Go check that video out. I think it'll help you out. But the reason I look at it from my standpoint, being almost 40, I've seen a lot of my friends catch STDs. I've seen one of my friends in particularly, I'm not gonna say my friend, it was a guy that we used to work together when I was a merchant marine. He goes overseas and, this and that happens overseas, right? He goes overseas, has some type of sexual experience with a woman and didn't know he caught herpes. Came back and before he had opportunity to, lay with the woman that he's with, right? What happened was he got tested or whatever. I don't know what happened, right? All I know is he caught herpes and he spared his woman and didn't give it to her because I guess something transpired, whatever. But when you see certain scenarios like that at my age, it makes you think twice before you be like, it's tempting, but I'm good. I'm straight, right? But ultimately, I believe that cheating is a choice. It's a choice. I believe your attitude is a choice. I believe what you will and what you won't do is a choice. But as it pertains to cheating, it's a choice. I don't really believe that it's a character flaw, right? It is a slash on your integrity because anything you do when people are watching, if you wouldn't do it when your girl is present and you'll do it when she's not present, that's a slash on your integrity. But most people won't agree, but this is how I look at it. I don't think that it's a character flaw. Right? Because we look at most powerful women and men that have been in leadership that have slipped. Why? Because none of us are immune to cheating or to, however you want to look at it. Maybe you're not in a relationship, right? Nobody is immune to one night stands. Nobody, right? But at the end, the ultimate decision, it boils down to choice. It's your choice. It's like I talked about slavery. I believe that getting into slavery was not a choice, but staying there it does become a choice. Like I have a choice to stay and live and be mistreated or to try to run and possibly die. That's a choice. It kills me because everything boils down to in life a choice. I hate when people say it was no choice. Yes, it's always a choice. Just like people that's in jail right now, they have a choice to remain in jail and do their time and then get out when they're supposed to get out, or they can try to escape. It's a choice. At the end of the day, stop allowing people that cheat on you make you feel as if it's your fault. No, it's not your fault. It was their choice to do what they did. Why do people cheat? Because they make the conscious decision. Now, as a byproduct, maybe our relationship is not going good. That's still an excuse of why you cheated. It's still an excuse. But this is the cause root of what led the person to making that decision. right? Maybe the relationship is not right. Maybe you guys argue all the time. Maybe you stop having sex the way that you used to have sex. Maybe the sex is not as good as it used to be. Those are different factors that goes in to why the person cheated. Or I've met so many people like this and I'm gone. I met so many people like this that say I do everything for this person. I cook, clean, I give them money, I give them sex anytime they want it. I do everything in relationship that I can possibly do to make this relationship work, and they still cheated. It's because so many people do not look at the man or the woman in the mirror. Like, I really want you to analyze this thing. Come closer. I only got 5 minutes. I want you to come closer. So many people do not look at the man or the woman in the mirror before they make a decision or before they start talking. And what's damaging is so many people would tell other people what they need to fix about them to get to where they want to get to. Or you want to be better in life? You need to do this. You want to get more money in life? You need to do this. So many people are quick to give advice, but are not willing to take advice for themselves and change the areas of their lives that they need to change. This is what I need you to do. All my fellas, and even women that play Madden, right? There's this feature on Madden, especially if you have the brand new Madden. I bought the brand new Madden. It's pretty cool. I don't play much, but I just play franchise and I get my team. My team is the Cowboys. If you're not a Cowboys fan, I don't know what you're doing. But anyway, that's for a totally different podcast. And many of you, like, I can't watch this podcast. I'm here a Cowboys fan. Listen, what's crazy is there's this feature that you can play as a franchise and you can create a player, or you can play with a player that's already made, a real player, or you can create a player. And with the creator player, this is the craziest thing that I've seen. Most people will start the creation of the player from the name to the way he looks, to the way they're dressed, to their attributes, how powerful they are. And what I've discovered is everybody makes a player that crushes every single player that's real in the NFL. Catch it. You will make a player that's made up with all these amazing features, all these amazing qualities, just so that you can dominate the game. Then as we begin to talk, maybe think about you guys. You're easily to make a player that will dominate the game, but you won't look in the mirror and make a player of yourself so that you can dominate the game that you're in. Every single time you guys get in my comments, I'm like, no, what you talking about? Because you're speaking from a broke perspective. Like I told you, any guy that says, all right, if you order from this is the side that we having sex with, right? But if you order from this side, we cool, right? Maybe on another day. We'll go on another day or whatever. Like that's broke man mentality. And I get it. You're saying you're getting offended. If you get offended, you broke. But this is what I want to tell you. You can get out of the broke section. All you have to do is begin to learn what you need to do to get out that broke section. It's your responsibility to get out the broke section, period. It's your responsibility. But understand, and I hate that because this is another thing. When you lead with anything, when you lead with your money, when you lead with your material items, whatever you lead with, this is a sign that you're hiding some type of insecurity that you're dealing with. I got to lay the foundation whether y'all watch it or not. I know my ladies are going to rock with me today because some of the ladies are going to come back and say, I just want to see what he's going to tell the guys. And I just got to be honest and I got to be blunt up front. Because when you lead any type of circumstances with money, when you're approaching a woman or you're approaching a relationship and you lead in with money, this is a true sign that you're hiding some type of insecurity that you battle with. Period. Like that's real smack. Like I don't want you to be so insecure that you got to let a woman know, I got that bread. I get to the bag. I make $300,000 a year. I drive a Bentley. I got the brand new Vet, or I got the brand new whatever. Those are all material things. A fake woman, she get excited about that stuff. Like she get excited fast. But a real woman that understands, okay, this is just materialistic stuff. You can get in an accident and all this stuff be gone. Somebody can just run into all of your cars while they're parked at your house and all of your cars are gone, right? Do you have the money to buy it again? And if you do have the money to buy it again, it could happen again. You can go bankrupt tomorrow. How many people you know that were rich one day and the next day, not just lottery winners? There has been some regular people that have invested into some bad investments and was dead broke the next day. Money comes and goes. You can get the bag. You can get some money, right? But a real relationship is hard to stumble across. It's hard to stumble across. So I'm really this blunt. Why? Because I don't want you guys to always lead with something tangible. Matter of fact, don't lead at all with nothing tangible. Because what you lead with is something that you have to sustain. And I need y'all to understand this. I broke it down for the women yesterday, and I'm gonna break it down for the fellas as well. Don't get in your feelings when I say these certain type of women you can't handle. Handle is not a sign of weakness. But when you get, I've been in situations where I'm like, nah, that's too much for me to handle. And the reason I say that is because just because you can handle a woman doesn't degrade her. That doesn't devalue her, right? When I say handle, I'm not saying like handle where you can control, because most people attribute handle with control, and it's not. Handle, like you can handle somebody calling you stupid because you know that you're not stupid. So I can handle that. Or you can handle somebody calling you ugly. Cool, I can handle that. I know I ain't ugly. I understand. I don't need somebody else to validate who it is that I am. So you need to recognize, who can I handle? Prime example, give you an example, because I know some of y'all stink face. Like, yo, we're talking about. What you mean? I can handle any woman. No, you can't. Your finances, and I got to break it down to all facets of your life. Let's deal with the finances, because most people respond more to finances than they do anything else. You may be a gentleman that makes $100,000 a year, but there's this woman that has a $300,000 lifestyle. She makes $1 million a year, but to keep up with her lifestyle, it's $300,000 a year. You only make $100,000. So in retrospect, you cannot handle this woman. Now, she may not be that type of vain woman that be like, yo, if you can't do it, then I don't want you. She may not be that type of woman, but you have some women that's like that. That's like, yo, I get to the bag myself, right? No matter how good or bad the relationship is, when a person breaks up, they will still miss the good moments of that relationship. I don't care how bad a relationship was. You will still, at some point, you may not want to get back with the person, but have you ever met a person that's divorced and you talk to them and you ask them, do you miss being divorced? I mean, do you miss being married? They would say, most people would say this: I do miss being married, but I don't miss being married to one that I was with, right? Because there were some great moments in the marriage.